wildcard? Is it a wildcard, which is the ODM, because of broad-based government? Is it working for him? Because even ODM now is in two factions. One is in united opposition, another one is in government. So, are Kenyans right in saying we are suffering because of the political class in entirety? And is ODM the wildcard for either side?
Yeah, I think Kenyans are right, and the frustrations are real. If you look at what has happened in the recent past, anyone associated with this regime has faced the wrath of the public everywhere. There was a PS who was attacked, and I do not advocate for violence or political intolerance. It is something that we need to run away from. Even if you don't agree with a politician, either don't go there or listen and just move on. Because if we start this culture of intolerance, then we'll have no one to listen to. Sure. And that is even worse for us, because then we'll be making decisions in the dark. So if you look at what they have faced, the government spokesman was booed, to the ground at Kenyatta University. The Uasingishu member of parliament, woman member of parliament, was actually ejected from an event. The chair of the budget was almost lynched in Kisumu. And you see, these are frustrations by Kenyans who are looking at a regime that has not delivered even a quarter of what it promised after promising so much. So there's a sense in which the sentiments of on the ground, the frustrations on the ground. I mean, to be a sitting president with a rating of 24% is it 24 or 30? Yeah, I mean, it's a big joke. I mean, you have the state infrastructure, you have intelligence, you have almost everything. You can do that, which takes people to a comfortable space. And when people express dissent the way they are, it means that you're not doing much. Now, the second question you ask, and for me, it's very simple. All these things Dismas says are very good. I mean, the reforms in health, the reforms in education, the institution of the housing levy, they are all very good. But what this regime ought to have done was very simple. Just reduce corruption by even up to 50%. Would be all good. If you look at the health reforms, the bedrock of the problem is not in the reforms. The bedrock of the problem is in the procurement of the system that is shrouded in a lot of corruption.
True, yeah.
Now, you look at the health, the fuel crisis that we have today. They did a good thing getting us into this G2G thing because there is fuel in our depots. But there is this looming corruption that is somewhere, that this deal was signed to make money for a certain clique of people. If they allay all these fears, and if these fears are real, then they just need to cut down on corruption by 50%. And between now and the next election, they'll have enough clout to win the election. But you ask a very interesting question on ODM. I think ODM probably is the biggest trouble for this regime because Baba left us in the broad-based government. But immediately he left, there is a group that decided we are going to leave the ground with the broad-based, but we are going with the people. So Linda Mwanainchi has left with the people, but Linda Ground still has those ODM strongholds. And I can tell you, without any fear of contradiction, that majority of the luminaries in ODM who are supporting broad-based are actually going there for themselves. And the votes they are going to take to President William Ruto will not even account for 30% of the ODM votes. And the reason why I'm saying this is very simple. These are people who used to hang on Baba's coattail. And because we were going to vote for Baba at the top, we had no reason not to vote for them. So the tragedy for President William Ruto, from where I sit, is very simple. If they go with this ODM that has ground but no people, because Wananchi have already left with Sifuna, the first thing is, not everyone who is in ODM is likely to vote for President William Ruto. So there's a reduction in that percentage. Then number two, if they go with this zoning thing, it basically means that the incentive to even go out and vote will be non-existent because there is no Baba up there to get you out of the house to go and vote. And then your candidate has already been zoned out. So you are left with this guy who used to hang on Baba's coattail that you don't like. But Baba is not there. You're not going to vote for this guy. You will not get out to go and vote. So the damage is on who? Is on President William Ruto. So this ODM is a wild card only if he understands the politics of numbers. And I'm sure the president understands. He understands the politics of numbers, and he understands that he has an ODM ground inhabited by people who are non-existent, because those people have gone with Sifuna. So ultimately, unless it is a united ODM, I don't know how they'll do this, unless it's that complete ODM that has the Mwananchi and the ground together. ODM won't help President William Ruto.
It looks like, the jury's out in terms of what's going to happen. And that's very clear. In terms of who must do what, we can continue to analyze and put these messages out there. I think a good way to start the week. Gentlemen, thank you for being here with us this morning. Dr. Hesbon, Owilla, and the political risk analyst. Well, thank you very much for being here with us this morning. And as we continue in our conversations, obviously to then, I think that we can call out some of these things, that there unfortunately many things that are going on in the country that must be paid attention to, but the tribal card must not be one that is played in this game of poker.
Yeah, that is unacceptable.
That's unacceptable for sure. We can't run away from that because it's caused too much damage in the past, something that we hope will not cause anymore into the future. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here. Our conversations continue this morning, and this is a situation we'll continue with them. Good morning. It's